Welcome to 40k Dataslate Review. In this video, we're taking a look at the Necron unit, the Canoptek Tomb Sentinel.
40k Dataslate Review.
Canoptek Tomb Sentinels are forge rolled models that fill a much needed role in the Necron faction. Starting with a 10-inch move, they are pretty fast. Not only that, but they can be placed in reserves and deployed later in the game as per normal rules. Defensively, Sentinels are toughness 7, 9 wounds, and a 3-up save. It's pretty decent, slightly tougher than your average vehicle. They also come with living metal, healing them a wound back at the start of each Necron turn, keeping them alive a bit longer. Offensively, they are equipped with the Exile Cannon, a heavy D6 weapon that shoots 12 inches away at strength 10, AP 4, damage 3. This weapon is really powerful, and more reliable than comparable weapons like the Doomsday Arc. It does have a random amount of shots, but the steady damage allows you to depend on something. While the short range can be a problem for the model, since it's a heavy weapon, it would be sacrificing its 3-up ballistic skill if it were to move, but it is fairly maneuverable and has a decent 22-inch threat range. In combat, the model is no slouch either. 4 attacks that hit on 3s with strength 6, AP 2 D3 damage. They won't often be charging, but they will often be getting charged, so it's nice to know that they can deal a few wounds in return. The model has a piece of war gear it can optionally take, the Gloom Prism. This is a great piece of equipment that allows the Tomb Sentinels to deny 1 psychic power per phase. Necrons don't have any psychers of their own, so the Gloom Prism is the only way there is to defend against psychic powers. The Sentinel is a nice, tough candidate for the Gloom Prism. Unless you know you won't be facing psychers, it's best to always spring for the Gloom Prism. The Tomb Sentinel is 185 points with the Gloom Prism, making it kind of expensive. Since the FAQ, reserves can only deploy outside of the player's deployment zone in the second turn or later. This, along with the addition of the Necron Codex, often makes it a bit more beneficial to not put the Sentinel in reserves and to just place it on the table. Having the Gloom Prism on turn 1 is pretty important against many foes, so it is often not worth putting the model in reserves for that reason alone. The Sentinel moves pretty quick, so it should be able to get into position relatively easily. In most cases, the Necron player will need 2 or 3 Sentinels to really make use of the bug's abilities. The Exile Cannon fills a gap that many Necron units do not fill. High AP, high strength, and 3 damage will take out many things that Tesla does not. The Necron Codex offers a few options to the Canoptek Tomb Sentinel. Firstly, the dynasty chosen for the Sentinel will make a huge difference in the model's effectiveness. Because the Exile Cannon is a heavy weapon, and because it is already AP-4, the only dynasty that really benefits the Sentinel is Sawtech. The dynasty's codes allow the model to move and not suffer the penalty to hit for its heavy weapon. Not only that, but Sawtech also allows the model to advance and count the Exile Cannon as an assault weapon. This code makes the Sentinel much more mobile than before. Advancing to sit on an objective or get into range of the Exile Cannon is now doable without foregoing shooting. The code gives the Sentinel a fairly potent 28-inch range. Not only does the Dynasty code greatly enhance the Sentinel's abilities, the stratagem is also effective. Methodical destruction can be used after an enemy unit takes an unsaved wound from a Sawtech unit. Use the stratagem and the rest of the army gains +1 to hit against that unit. Since the player will often find themselves focus firing with 2 or 3 Tomb Sentinels at a time, this stratagem really will increase the chances of hitting. This is also obviously helpful after advancing to balance out the negative modifier. Tomb Sentinels really only benefit from 2 other stratagems. The first one is Solar Pulse, which ignores enemy cover. The Exile Cannon is already AP4, so this won't really be that helpful. It's not like a cover save is really going to save the enemy anyway. The other stratagem is Adaptive Subroutines. The stratagem is cheap and allows the Sentinel to advance and still shoot and charge. Adaptive Subroutines is helpful in making the Sentinel move even further if it needs to make an all-or-nothing dash towards a target. Other Necron units also have some positive influence over the Tomb Sentinel's abilities. Triarch Stalkers allow models to reroll hit rolls of 1 if it targeted the enemy before in the same shooting phase. With the Sawtech stratagem, this would allow the Sentinels to hit on 2s with rerolls, which would be extremely powerful. This would require 2 units to shoot at the target ahead of time, as Triarch units cannot take the Dynasty keywords, but it's still something to remember. Cryptex with Canoptek Cloaks and Tohulk the Blinded from Forge World both have the ability to increase the effectiveness of Sentinel's living metal special rules. The Cryptex would allow a Tomb Sentinel to regain D3 wounds instead of the normal 1. Unless the player is taking multiple Tomb Sentinels altogether, neither of these characters are really worth taking just for this ability. The Canoptek Tomb Spider would also work decently paired with a few Sentinels. Equipped with a Fabricator Claw Ray, it would be able to repair the Sentinel's D3 wounds each turn. With the Cryptex D3 Living Metal and this, the Sentinels will be a bit tougher to take down. The final unit on the list that really directly influences the Sentinel is the Satan Shard of the Deceiver. The Deceiver can redeploy itself and D3 other units 12 inches away from enemy models before the game begins. Use this to basically do what you would have done before the FAQ changed reserves. Get into the opponent's face, turn 1. The Tomb Sentinel is a decent Swiss Army knife that is fast and can take a hit. The Sentinel's ranged weapon is powerful, but it also packs a punch in melee. While it is pretty good in a Saltec dynasty, it really doesn't fit well into other dynasties, making it somewhat inflexible. Canoptek Tomb Sentinels receive a 4 out of 5. They are well-rounded models that perform well under quite a few conditions. What do you think of Tomb Sentinels? What data slates would you like to see reviewed next on the channel? Leave your answers, questions, and thoughts in the comments below, and thanks for watching.